You only need 3 simple things to rank higher on Google if you're running a B2B e-commerce brand, a B2B online shop, or have a supplier website. My name is Robert and I'm the founder of the B2B SEO/geo agency Seekers Media, and in the past years we helped more than 50 B2B industrial and e-commerce companies to rank higher on Google, and these days also in AI search engines. So this is exactly why I'm showing you today how this process is done. And as I said, this strategy also works for AI models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or the Google AI Mode. And before we reveal the full strategy to you now, let's break down the 3 basic things that every B2B e-commerce company needs in order to rank higher in Google and AI search engines. So in order to rank higher in those search engines, you first of all need a website or an online shop, you need content, and you also need links and digital PR. That's it. Simple as that. Now let's walk through these 3 simple things one by one to have a look how a B2B SEO/geo strategy can look like for e-commerce brands. First of all, the website. And I think that's pretty obvious. The website has to be modern looking. And by modern looking, I don't mean that you need to exaggerate here. You're not apple.com. You are a B2B e-commerce brand. You have a B2B maybe supplies shop. And I have some designs for you. In the past years, we have prepared some designs, and this is an example of how a supplier or a B2B online shop could look. This example here shows the shop design of a aerospace component online shop. And this website, first of all, shows and communicates directly what this whole website and shop offers. That's the H1. Then we, of course, and this is the homepage for sure, we have the core offering. So we describe, first of all, the core offering in simple sentences, mention the USPs, for example, of those aerospace components. And then we directly open the shop. Because within a B2B online shop, you know this for sure, as a shop owner or supplier, the products, the offering is the core part of that shop. This is why we represent that directly on the main page as well, on the upper side. If we scroll down, we also have areas of application here. We have the technical data sheets, delivery areas, and of course, a personal contact person, very important in the age of AI. The same design as well, and this is what we're talking about now, for responsive and mobile devices. Of course, the page also has to be fast loading. And by fast loading, I don't mean that you need a page speed of 100. For example, how you can measure that using Google PageSpeed tools. We tested that with further projects, and we have reached a score sometimes of 100, really high page speed scores, like this page, for example. And the question, what did that page speed of 100, this perfect loading page, do to SEO? Does this page make better rankings? Does it improve any visibility? The answer is, it didn't do anything in terms of SEO. And this is also backed up by a SEMrush study. For example, this one here, SEMrush tested various factors, ranking factors, in order to figure out what exactly is relevant to improve Google rankings. And what they found is, we have this result here, different factor categories like content factors, like URL and domain factors. Then we have backlink factors here in yellow. In all the important page speed factors, like in green, UX factors, user signals. Where do we find those? This is the correlation. Top factor is content, and we have some URLs. We have the off page, so the backlink factors in yellow here. Where do we find the page speed factors? We find them down here, and those are actually also the relevant page speed components like LCP, INP, LCS. Those are below 0. So a great page speed actually correlates negatively with SEO. That means, by any means, you don't need a perfectly optimized and fast website in order to get good rankings in Google and AI models. What you need is definitely a website that works fine with users, where you open the website and it loads fast enough so that you directly see the most important contents and that you don't wait for 20-30 seconds in order to load the page. This is very important. Then, as I talked about responsiveness, factor number 3 when it comes to website. Why is responsiveness important? I think it's quite obvious. Everyone uses the phone these days. We also use tablets, but phones are most important. So when you have a B2B online shop, and most shop systems have those opportunities, make the page responsive for sure. Shop function is also very important. If you have a B2B e-commerce brand, if you have an online shop, use a content management system like Shopify, but also WooCommerce or Magento, etc. are also good systems to build a working shop. I wouldn't recommend systems such as Shopware. From our experience from the past years working with some Shopware clients, always a horrible experience, also when it comes to content optimization and SEO. But most systems definitely work for basic SEO optimization things and responsiveness. And one last factor when it comes to the website itself, for e-commerce brands, technical SEO is also relevant. It's not that relevant if you just have a manufacturer website, for example, or if you are having a consultant business, if you offer industrial services, then you usually also have just landing pages, service pages, like category pages where you represent products and services. But as an online shop, you always have a ton of product pages. Stores often also have a variety of products, so you can categorize and individualize products. You have different parameters also in the URL. An e-commerce store usually is a bit more elaborate when it comes to keeping the technical part clean. This is why we recommend a technical SEO check at least once a year to check all of the URLs regularly. Meaning, are there any dead URLs? Did you remove any products? Is there maybe a variant of a specific product that isn't used or sold anymore? If you don't sell specific products, remove those URLs as well and try to keep your URL portfolio, which is, again, for e-commerce brands, pretty wide compared to normal websites. Keep that portfolio clean and just do this household cleaning of your shop once a year. Also set irrelevant subpages like different varieties, products, whatever you don't use anymore on no index so you don't get the trash on your web space. The next factor we're talking about, the most exciting one by the way, is the whole topic of content. So what is the most important piece of an SEO strategy for a B2B online shop? It's definitely the content component. Of which page? Definitely not of the product page. The most important component is your content on your product category pages if you're an e-commerce brand. Why is that the most important component? Why are the product pages itself not that relevant? Well, it's because, and many clients ask that, by the way, your products, they will be found anyway. Why is that? Because often most B2B e-commerce brands, they have specific names for their products. They have their own names. They have like numbers in the names. They have like pretty technical descriptions of their products. It's different if you have like a supply shop where you sell different products that you buy from somewhere else, from a manufacturer, and then you resell them in the B2B market. Then it's quite different because then you have more, let's say, describing names of your products. Like you sell hammers or you sell nails, different spare parts. But still, the category pages are the most important ones. When we talk about content for B2B e-commerce, then first of all, structure your full URL portfolio with matching keyword sets. And then you also, within that portfolio, come up with the product category pages. We see how that looks like. What you want to categorize is a structure like this. So we have the main topics here of this company. This is an example company. They sell different bearings, sliding bearings. They have like washer plates, sinter bearings, those kind of products. We want all of those products listed here in column A, all of the topics as well. So not just the offerings, but also topics that are relevant, DIN norms, questions that clients have. What is a plain bearing, for example? Differences, advantages of their products. So everything that is relevant. And that could be a couple hundred rows here of topics. Sometimes we have hundreds of different topics that we work with in the first place. For each of those categories and topics, we want to research and map out the different keywords. So we use a keyword software like Ahrefs, like this one, for example. They have like a keyword explorer, and then we can choose the market, the country, and we can research different keywords and get the search volume. This is basically what we did here. We want to map out the different topics with the keyword sets, and we want to identify which keywords could rank together. So keywords, those three, for example, they have the same search intent. That means if someone searches this keyword, you get the same search results as someone searched this keyword, as someone searches that keyword. If someone looks up for this keyword, they won't find the same search result. There is a different page needed. And this is exactly what we do here. We map out the topic, the keyword set, try to identify the search volume, and then we also interested in which URL, which category page we need here. For example, we build a separate category page for sliding bearing bushing. We build a separate category page for sliding bearing bushing with collar, for the washer plates, for the sinter bearings, and so on. This is what you do in the first place when it comes to mapping out the full SEO and content strategy for the commercial pages, as well as for the informative / know-how or blog pages, and for the homepage. You also do that in different languages if you have a multilingual shop. And this is a lot of work. AI can use to simplify that, but we didn't find a really good way to also get to really good results with it, because usually then you get superficial stuff. We want a super clear structure and perfect matching search intent here. So this is often why it takes a ton of time to do that manually. And if you want to support helping us doing that for you, you can of course always request a free consultation call, and we help you out with that and can potentially work with you. Just go to robertsiegis.com/en and then we consult you. Right. So this is what you do first when it comes to content. The second and most important component, if you mapped out all of the topics, is to get enough content. Having thin content on the website, so not enough text content, not enough videos, technical data sheets, all of those things in general, that's a problem of many B2B brands. The goal here is to bring enough content on the page, on the product category pages, most importantly, And secondly, also on informative pages, like blog articles, articles around your products, around questions, DIN norms, processes, applications. An example is, for example, this company that I found on Google. They have a product category page here. This is how they structured it, about the bearings and the filters. You have an introduction text here. You have different components here, products, some of their portfolio, and that's it for them. Ideally, they bring a personal contact person on the page as well, as I showed here. Show the different areas of application of their specific product, embed their technical data on the page as well. This is what I would recommend to add here. Let's check out those bearings. This is a product page then. They don't have any content on that page. Okay. So ideally, as we see that many brands are not having enough content on their pages, definitely a huge opportunity for B2B brands in order to get better rankings, because there is obviously a gap here, content gap. Which types of content do you produce when it comes to commercial content on the product category pages and the informative content? First of all, in terms of AI age, where we are right now, create content that AI cannot recreate. So create descriptions of your processes. Create videos, how your products are used, tutorials. Create case studies. Which companies do you supply? Who do you work with? How do those companies use your products? Build case studies, write them down, film them, photograph them, make an experience out of your page, and show how your offering works. Technical data sheets. Don't use the technical data sheets just as PDF downloads. If possible, embed them to your page and make them visible also for AI crawlers. AI crawlers primarily crawl your web pages, not your PDFs. And also bring company know-how on the page. Publish information about your products, about your processes that only your company can know. This is the type of content that will win in the AI age, because AI, generative engines, they are generative, they regenerate content. They cannot recreate those kind of things if they don't find them anywhere else. So create content they cannot copy. Then there's also the type of structure. So how do you structure your content in the AI age to get quoted and cited as often as possible? As now AI agents like Perplexity, Gemini, and Google AI Mode, which is the same thing, ChatGPT come up, those have their own crawlers. So they go through the web, they crawl different websites, they try to identify which content can we display in our search engines. And ideally, you'll build structured content that those search engines can read. Meaning, you need a good HTML headline structure, first of all. This is how it looks in our website. If I open up here, SEO Meta in one click, we can see the full HTML headline structure. It reads like a book. There's one H1, different H2s, different H3s, and everything is perfectly categorized. This is how an HTML headline structure has to look like. We also have technical data sheets. Technical data sheets, really important if you are a technical company, if you sell technical products. Then we have, of course, a product overview section, very important on the product category pages, on every product category page. The meta text, probably still relevant in the AI age, definitely for Google age. We have a personal contact person, as I showed, for example, here on Figma. This is how it should look like. FAQ section, reviews, pricing structure, and mark those as schema data. So this is how you build structured data on your website. Structure your information in blocks, and if possible, create schema markups. That's an own area in Google. Let's see if I can find that. Schema markups. We have an article on that here from Google. Now this is in German. No, this is English. Perfect. I put the article below how you can build schema markups to set structured data on your page. Great. And then, last but not least, content is fine if you build it on your website. But what's also important is that you build up links, that your website get mentions, and that you also work with different websites, that you bring your website, your brand into visibility. For example, building up off-page links. You can check that with a tool like Ahrefs. This is a company that I found on Google. I don't know the company, it's just a random website. I wanted to find out if there are any articles that point toward that website and that mention the website or the brand. And I found this article here, for example. So this is an article about perforation and food packaging, and they mention and link the website of this brand who also offers packaging machines or perforation machines. So they mention the brand and they link the brand below this image here. And that's definitely what we want. We want get mentioned, get linked, get cited articles. First of all, in industrial websites, if we are an industrial company like this one, for example, Modern Machine Shop, they offer different articles. We also want to get mentioned in local magazines, in public media in general, so public relations work. And usually we can also, if we want to publish an article or get mentioned somewhere, we often can buy those articles. Google doesn't like it, but everyone does it. We know that for sure. Or the editorial area of such a website. So this is what you do. You write them and you ask, hey, is it possible to publish maybe in your magazine area, maybe in your blog area, a really professional, insightful article about a process, an application, a case study that is also relevant for them. So look out for those websites. Those are the best links that you can get. Otherwise, we also have other ideas and possibilities in order to build backlinks. We also have the opportunity to get backlinks from social media, so from LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. They are not as quality as, for example, from industrial online magazines. We also have the opportunity to get links from forums, of course. Those types of links are giving us in the end creating what we call the backlink profile. So everything that links directly back to our B2B online shop. Then there are also brand and product mentions and citations. For example, as I showed here, this is a brand mention. It's also a link, but if there wouldn't be a link, it would just be a brand mention. This is also something that AI search engines look for these days, as well as product mentions. And if you have your name, so name of the CEO, name of an employee, recognized, mentioned somewhere, that's also a really good thing and signal for AI search engines. So you want those links, mentions of brand and employees in order to get recognition, which helps you then to get cited more often so that AI models and search engines understand that your website is a relevant player and a relevant brand in your market. So those were the three major factors on how to rank number 1, number 2, number 3. So definitely pretty high on Google and get mentioned and cited more often in AI search models. If you, as I said, want to get support, want to get help on that process, we already help more than 50 B2B brands, also e-commerce brands, to rank higher on Google and to get visible in AI search models. So if you want to get a free consultation call, just get to our website, robertsiegers.com/en, and here you can book a free consultation call and we're happily to help you out. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video here on the channel. Subscribe to the channel, have a great day, and see you in the call or in the next video.